Welcome, everyone, to the Worst Fans podcast. I'm here with your hosts, Rhett and Buck. Stay hi, guys.
Hello. Good day.
I know it's been a while, but we have a lot to talk about. We have Black Adam. We have James Gunn, the Avatar trailer that just released. And our main topic of tonight is Tales of the Jedi. Probably some decent Star Wars that Disney's released in a while. But before we begin, we have something special for you today. Rhett, take it away.
Special. Hello, everybody. So this might be a new segment. We can't have it every time, but we have an actual unboxing of something that was just recently released. Surprise to these guys. They don't know what I'm talking about here.
We have no idea what it is, by the way.
Yeah, I've seen like one of these on YouTube. But it's something I really dig. Buck, you'll probably appreciate it. Yeah, I'll be cut away from myself.
It's a blow-up doll?
It is a blow-up doll. Thanks. Right. Yeah, I've seen only a couple on YouTube. But
I think they're not much on YouTube. I see them on other websites though.
Note, you may or may not be able to see, but it's Amazon. Let me flip it here. You notice there's some foreign language on it.
Oh, okay.
All right,
okay.
Yeah. I will open.
Look, Chinese or Japanese. I can't tell. It was too quick.
Let's see. A little too quick for you.
German. I don't know.
Each.
All right, guys. So, and hopefully this might be the start of us. Wow, this is tiny. Talking about this.
That's what she said.
In general topic. Ha! Yeah. Wow, it's tiny. Disappointment. In this case, very much not disappointed. Ew.
Oh, very nice.
It's pocket size. Look at that. Oh,
this
that's awesome.
Is the Genesis official Genesis Mini 2. Do you remember a couple years ago they came out with the Mini Genesis?
Yeah,
it's like the Mini Nintendo.
Yeah.
So Sega released a second version, which is the next model, right? Like I think the Genesis I had was, well, I know the Genesis I had was the original model.
Mm-hmm.
Some people got this one. Our buddy Ryan got this one. And what's cool is it's got a long list of games, Genesis games, but also, you can't really see, Sega CD games. Very nice. Very nice.
Sega CD, that's a real
classic.
Fine.
Yeah. Mighty fine, yes.
Yeah.
So let's see.
Remember that Jurassic Park Sega
I love
CD
that game.
Isn't that a great game?
That was an adventure game. Well,
great game.
Marco would not like it. It's what you described when you talked about the Telltale Batman game. This was an early, sort of thing. It's an adventure game.
Yeah. Great game.
What is it? Oh, this is the controller. Oh, so also, if you recall, they released a 6-button controller in the Genesis, which I bought for the sake of Mortal Kombat alone.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't remember. I think I had issues setting it up, and I was really disappointed. I'd never used it. I don't know. Whatever. I was a kid. I was 12. All right, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Literally the size of my hand.
Wow, that's so tiny.
Very small.
For me and Buck, though, this was 1990, like 90, maybe 91.
91, 92. Yeah.
Look at that. They're about
Super
93.
Nintendo, Genesis.
See this little guy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yep. Little slot.
Mm-hmm.
Break it before you use it.
Yeah, I know.
Cool.
All right, so I'll have to give you the review next time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So I think in general, I have a new idea. We're supposed to talk about not just movies and shows, but it's all we ever talk about. So
correct.
I think at the beginning of each episode, from here on out, someone should bring up something gaming related. Doesn't matter if it's like all of us, one of us, something you're either what are you playing this week or what's coming out you're interested in. I saw PSVR has a release date now, PSVR 2. Stuff like that, just have something to talk about.
Okay, that's not a bad idea. I mean, I'm always up to date with gaming news, so it's
you are. Yeah.
It's not a bad topic,
I'm fairly there. I'm what do you call it? I'm relapsing and going backwards in gaming. As you may have noticed, I like the retro stuff more than I like the new stuff these days.
Yeah.
It shows my age. But I've been really getting into. I've been buying a lot of arcade 1-ups over the past year, and that's become kind of what I do now. Like I haven't even for the past 2 generations, I can barely keep up with modern games. So I realize it's done. I might get 1 or 2 here and there, but I kind of like my retro stuff. I might revert and go back in time and just enjoy the good old days. So yeah.
There you go. If that's what's for you, yeah, it's not bad.
That's it. So next, I can't remember our next topic. Black Adam. Who's taking
Yes,
that?
Black Adam. I'm gonna give this one to Buck. Take it away.
Well, he's giving it to me because he has not seen
I
Black
haven't seen
Adam,
it.
so that's the reason. But yes, Black Adam came out about 2 weeks ago, and me and Red saw it, and I gotta say, while I didn't think it was revolutionary, it's not gonna change the superhero genre in any way.
Nope.
I quite enjoyed it. I thought it was a breath of fresh air to the point where I miss seeing this kind of superhero movie, so to
Correct.
speak. You know what I mean? This was especially after coming off of
Your favorite?
wrapping up She-Hulk that
Yes.
week, and
Yes.
I needed this fresh kind of like yes, back to form kind of like yeah, like mid early 2000s kind of
Mhm.
Marvel movie, but DC. So I quite enjoyed it. I thought The Rock Johnson did great. I didn't know much about Shazam. I mean not Shazam, Black
Black
Adam.
Adam.
I know he was part of that kind of world. Um I thought he was a cool character, honestly. I thought the action was good. I thought the acting for the most part was fine. Visual effects were great. The other side characters, the GSL, Justice Society, what is it? What is it called?
Yeah, JSL.
JSL. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought that was great. I loved all the characters,
JSA.
honestly.
JSA.
JSA.
Right.
Yeah. Hawkman, Doctor Fate.
Fate.
I mean,
Mhm.
Fate.
man, I'm telling you, Pierce Brosnan
He's still
was
got
awesome.
it. Yeah,
He
man.
still got it, man. My favorite James Bond. I don't
Hell
care
yeah.
about you Daniel Craig fans. Sorry, that's not
Right?
mine.
I didn't
Sorry.
realize we were in the same boat with that. I didn't give a
Sorry.
shit
Yeah.
about him.
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't hate Daniel Craig, but
No.
this is the Pierce Brosnan was a James
Mhm.
Bond that I grew up with,
Mhm.
and that will always be for me James Bond. Pure and
Thank you,
simple.
Nintendo 64.
Yeah, Gold. Yeah, exactly. It has a
GoldenEye.
lot to do with GoldenEye. It really does. Yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it, and of course, the after credits. Man, it got me excited for what's to come. It showed Henry Cavill back as Superman, and he is going to move forward. Sorry,
I already
Marco,
knew.
if I spoiled that for you.
I already knew. It's
But
okay.
everyone knew that was going to happen.
Yeah.
And yeah, I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. Rhett, what did you think of it?
You nailed it. Everything you said, I would agree with. And it's not like this thing was the best, not even close to the best. It was just
No.
Right.
6, 7. Like it was. I'd give it a 7 because I liked it more than She-Hulk. I liked it more than Obi-Wan. And by the end of it, like moments of 8, where you're like, oh, I'm so excited. And the action, I saw it in IMAX. I don't know if that's what had to do with this, but to me, the freaking sound effects were amazing. Like every bolt of lightning he shot just had this deep, like rumbling and the high pitched frequency. I felt like, man, I'm in this. Like I could feel the power this character has, and it was cool.
No,
Wasn't without its issues, but go ahead.
yeah, no, I have a question for you guys. So now that Henry Cavill has, is reprising his role as Superman, how do you think that's going to affect the DCU altogether?
Okay.
I don't. Well, here's my thing. I think he's back as Superman. However, I think what they're gonna do is basically kind of start its own different universe as to what we've seen. Kind of a reboot. I don't know if they're gonna ignore all of it, but I think they're going to maybe kind of turn the cheek to a lot of it. I think we might see this is what scares me. What I'm scared that they're gonna make him into a Superman that I'm not necessarily comfortable with. Like I don't want to see a clone Christopher Reeve Superman. I don't want to see that. I like Henry Cavill Superman the way it is, and
True.
I don't want to see it change too much. I have a feeling they're gonna change a little bit, but I'm hopeful. I think I think it's gonna be exciting. I want to see Man of Steel too. I think he's owed that, and I think he's finally gonna get it. So yeah, and I'm excited. Yeah.
Okay. Thoughts, Brett? What do you think?
Yeah. Nick, sorry, I'm stuffing my face here. That Christopher Reeve. I think you're saying that because they dropped a few of the John Williams original Superman,
right?
Notes when it first showed him.
Which didn't bother me, but I just
we heard it in what's this dude's Joss Whedon's
the first
Justice League.
the first Justice League, yeah. Yeah.
They dropped it in there as well as the original Tim Burton or Danny. Yeah, what's the Danny Elfman score from the original Batman theme was in there for just a little bit too. As long as they don't totally give it away, I like the new stuff from. I can't think of his name now. The composer of Man of Steel.
Hans Zimmer.
Thank you. Very well. Was it Hans? I thought he might have done Batman Begins. You might be right though. I don't know.
Pretty sure it's Hans Zimmer. Yeah.
We'll look this up.
I'll
Challenge
look it up
question.
now.
We'll flash the screen. Flash it right here in the editing. Anyway, I think we're good there. I think what it is, the movie didn't exactly blow the box office away. It didn't blow anyone's socks off. It's kind of what we said. It was better than I expected, though. I was like, it's going to be kind of crap.
That's what I've been hearing.
It is. Yeah, exactly. I think that's a lot of it. That's where we're giving, a lot of slack. But yeah, it was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. Because for some reason, I thought the marketing was pretty bad. And I don't know. I just had a feeling this might not be too great. But honestly,
it's The Rock. It's kind of like he's the one. Yeah.
See if you can see that there. Hold on.
Is it Hans Zimmer? Well done. 30. Who did freaking Batman Begin, the Dark Knight trilogy? Is one of the other good composers I can't think of. All right, someone look that up now. I got this. I think we're done with Black Adam.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. But
it leads into the next topic.
Yeah. It does. Yeah, it does.
All right, let's go ahead and hit that up. Because a week or two ago, when we did this, maybe 2 weeks ago, we said, hey, what would be neat is if Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson becomes the Kevin Feige of the DC universe.
Right.
We need someone who can be the hype man. We need someone that can get the Henry Cavill to come in and the Ben Affleck. I know not everyone likes that, but I do. And we got someone kind of unexpected.
Yeah, James Gunn was announced. He's He's not completely in charge. He's co-create, well, not creator, but
produce. I don't know.
I don't know
what you call this.
Co-Feige.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know who the other guy is, so I don't know. That's why I'm not saying his name, but yeah. So
I heard he did a lot of the horror movies for Warner Brothers, like the fairly good ones, like Conjuring and such. So.
Right. Yeah.
James Wan.
But yeah, I saw this news and I was just like, huh, okay. I didn't hate it. It was very unexpected. I mean, it wasn't even a name that even came to my head at all. Like, oh, really?
It's not a horrible pick for me. I mean, I don't have a problem with James Gunn.
No. But just because he's done, he's directed good things that we like, I don't know if that automatically kind of puts him up there as okay. Yeah, he should lead the DC, films.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, time will tell. I mean, right now, they don't have anybody, so
true.
Yeah, maybe we'll get some consistency. I don't know.
Yeah.
Real quick break. Hans Zimmer actually did the Dark Knight trilogy as well.
So he did both. Okay.
Yeah. So, which kind of makes sense because didn't Christopher Nolan produce Man of Steel? And he's like, oh, I got someone for you. Anyway, all right, back to the story. Yeah. So, you said it first when you first texted me, Buck. Okay, it's James Gunn. I'm a little anxious because this guy is kind of a comedian. I don't want the vibe to change. I don't want that Zack Snyder thing. So hopefully, if anything, he can make it consistent because he can be dark, but usually it's dark comedy.
Yeah.
Aquaman got a little light. Shazam is pretty light. Birds of Prey, I don't know what the hell that is. What else am I missing? There's like a couple. Maybe
Suicide Squad.
Suicide, yeah.
The new Suicide Squad was. I thought it was good. I liked it.
I enjoyed it as well. Yeah, but
I liked it too. Yeah, I think we all kind of gave it a thumbs up.
It was better than the first one. That's all we could really agree on.
I thought it was better than the first one.
Yeah, I even liked the first one actually to an extent. Some pieces of it. I don't think it was. I didn't
hate the first one either. I thought you could tell it was a lot of editing that they cut out.
That's the part. I'm like,
I want to see. I still want to see the full cut of that. I want to see the director's cut.
Oh yeah, me too.
I wasn't a huge fan of Suicide Squad, but because of that reason, just felt like an incomplete movie.
I wouldn't say I was a huge fan, but yeah, like there was so many from the trailer. Joker with the hand grenade, and I'm like, we got a Joker tease, but didn't get the Joker, and I kind of feel like Jared Leto got the short end of the stick, especially when you see the end of Zack Snyder's Justice League, and you're like,
basically like an hour of footage that was missing, deleted from him. So that's crazy. I mean, he got narrowed down to like 10 minutes of screen time.
Yeah, sucks.
Man. Yeah,
it does suck.
Um,
Oh man. So
yeah,
all right.
look, my main thing also is just I hope that he evens out the tone. I don't want it to be obviously. I don't want the DC to turn into another Marvel, and that's my biggest
Mhm.
fear because I like the two different tones. I don't need it to
Yeah.
be a clone of Marvel. I want DC to stand on its own. But I have faith. Honestly, I mean, I think that especially the new, uh, like Warner Discovery. I think they do want to take care of the DC property more, and especially bringing back Henry Cavill.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Ben Affleck back. We'll see. But
I'm
you never
down.
know. Look, you know what? Even if let's say this. I'll take this. Even to bring Ben Affleck back, not even to have his own movie, but just to have him appear
Mhm.
in these movies
He's gonna be an
of other
Aquaman.
superheroes, Aquaman
He's gonna
or
be an Aquaman.
Justice League. Even if he
Yeah.
doesn't get his own movie, I'll take it. I'll take that. That's fine. I'm fine with that. But the fact that he'll still be in the universe, the
Yeah.
DC universe, I'll be more than happy with that. So we'll see. Yeah.
Mhm. All right.
Um.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe hopefully we get something good. I mean, I heard it's a 4-year contract only. That's not a lot of time in case he's like, I'd rather drop it. In 4 years he could be
That's
like, I'm
what
done.
I didn't realize that really only 4 years.
4 years for
I
those two
For
forgot.
guys.
for
They
Cavill.
can renew. No, for James Gunn.
Oh, James Gunn.
Yeah, but that's it's gonna take a while just to get Man of Steel up and
Just to
going.
get anything, I
It's
know.
like, jeez.
No, I
Okay.
saw.
Yeah.
I also forgot that because of Henry Cavill's, Superman role,
Oh
now
yeah.
he's no
Very
longer the
excited.
Witcher. He's no
He's not.
longer Geralt,
Yeah, they're
and
saying,
people
well,
are super mad
that's
about
definitely
that.
that was the best, definitely the reason for it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure. That is pretty
and
bummer. I
now
was
it's going to be
a bit
replaced
hurt.
by a Liam Hemsworth, I believe.
Liam's Hemsworth,
Liam
yeah,
Hemsworth.
brother of Chris Hemsworth.
Hmm.
Um, honestly, I think that's the bigger issue. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah,
Uh, yeah, it sucks that Henry Cavill's leaving because he was great in the role. But I feel like, well, you know what? If we get him back as Superman, it's not to outweigh. Yeah, I think it was worth the risk. All right, fine. I'm fine with it. But
Yeah.
Liam, the problem with Liam is I don't dislike him, but I really haven't seen him in anything that
overwhelming. Yeah,
shows him as acting chops. That's like, oh, okay, yeah, he could carry a role like this. I don't know.
not really.
He's not his brother, at least
No,
not from what I've seen. So
not his brother. Because he
It's
played
still
Geralt
good, yeah.
very well. I was happy with him as a role. I mean, the show was good,
Yeah.
and now that he's not going to, I'm let down a little bit, but at the same time, the
Yeah.
sacrifices need to be made in order to reprise the correct
I-
Superman.
Thank you.
mean,
I'll accept that. And
I'll
in
accept
the
it,
end,
yeah.
at this point, if Witcher goes down, it's like, you know what? It probably wouldn't have lasted.
But
much
now-
longer.
I mean, he's still doing one more season, so it's
Yeah.
not like he'll be in the third season and the fourth,
Yeah.
and that's it. But
I mean,
get the
and now
farewell.
it's. I mean, Henry Cavill's just really popular now. Now there's rumors going around that he's going to be in House of Dragons
oh my gosh,
As
that
a-
happened.
as a Targaryen.
Actually, I heard him and Elizabeth, Wanda, Scarlet Witch,
Olsen?
Olsen, yeah.
that she will be in there as well.
Well,
These are just rumors.
yeah, again, rumors that it's going to be not necessarily he's going to play a huge role, but they're going to have like flashbacks of him as Aegon the Conqueror.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would be awesome.
I think that would be sick. But again, just rumors.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I remember there's a time when they were talking about him being Bond, and I was for that. I was like, yeah, I'll take him as James Bond.
Yeah.
That'd have been cool.
Yeah.
All right. I guess we can move on to the next topic now. Or
Absolutely. Avatar,
Which
the
is
most recent Avatar trailer.
all right. I failed. I failed you guys. I didn't watch it. I haven't seen it yet. So we could play. This is something.
Gosh.
Get out of here. The guy who doesn't see Black Adam 2 weeks later. How about we play it right now?
We'll
Right?
play it.
This is what we do. I can have a reaction. You guys could have a second. Well, this is my reaction. This is my
Alright.
reaction. I would have rather watched it on my screen at least. but
Well,
this is
sucks for you.
good. Yeah. I'll take it. It's fine. We could do it. He's pulling it up, guys. While he's pulling it up, Avatar is a movie that came out in 2009. Loved it.
Did
Maybe
you?
it was Pocahontas with aliens, but
It was revolutionary at the time. No matter what anyone says today, that's it's so overrated. Bullshit.
All
When it
right.
came out, everyone loved it.
All right. You guys
Here we
ready?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
I think. Here we go.
Hold on.
Is it black for you guys?
Yes.
I was waiting for like the fade.
You have to play. There you go.
Oh,
Fucking shit! Put that back. Alright.
I wasn't on
There
the
we go.
screen. My fault.
Zoe Saldana has top billing, huh?
Yes.
Oh, the other guy barely acts anymore.
Yeah, he
I haven't
doesn't.
seen him in a while. I've been working on Avatar for 10 years.
You can't hear nothing.
Well,
I can
raise
hear.
my volume then.
I can hear.
You raised
It's
it.
good. You just keep it for me.
That's fine. I saw it already.
That's the kid, I guess. Oh.
James White.
It's
Dad, I know you think I'm crazy, but I feel her.
Who does the daughter's voice? You know her?
I
I
hear her
think
heartbeat.
Kurt Sigourney Weaver does the voice of the teenage daughter.
No. Oh, really?
She's so
yeah, it kind of
close.
sounds like her. Ooh, I had those.
So what does her heartbeat sound like?
Neon Tetris.
Mighty.
Maybe she became that spirit of her. The tree and the tree. I mean, they did touch their little things to the tree.
I haven't seen the first one in such a long time.
I watched it briefly.
We cannot let you bring your war
I
here.
watched it in the theater. And they
Outcast.
put it out a couple
that's
That's
weeks
all
ago.
they see.
I see you.
I would get the trick.
The way of water connects all things. Before your birth and after your death.
This is our home!
I need you with me. And I need you to be strong. Strongheart.
Interesting. You know what's funny? It didn't really like move me much. I don't know why.
Yeah, you know what? That's what I wanted actually to say. That it looks beautiful.
Yeah.
But and I saw this in a John Campea show, and I'm not copying him, but I felt exactly the same way. I don't know much about the story still. This is supposed to be the official trailer, and they still haven't told us what it's really about. They haven't-
Yeah.
It's the same
I
as the
mean,
first one almost. It's
yeah.
like, okay.
I mean, again, we don't know what they're fighting for because they're clearly in a different area of Pandora, like this water-based planet,
Yeah.
and like interacting with different tribes. Which I thought they kind of did that in the first one too. They had to go to different tribes to get assistance fighting the humans as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it's more of like like uniting all the tribes together again, and then like fighting for something different. There's got to be some other element to this movie besides just we're fighting humans again. You know?
Yeah. I mean, kids. It seems like that's a kind of a I don't know. I don't want to say a weak storyline, but it's
Yeah.
like they got kids now. So
And
yeah.
I heard it was longer too. Like it's gonna be longer than the first one.
Really?
And consider this,
Yeah.
aren't we? We all know he's been making a lot of these. Like I don't know how many are going to be total. Five
Five.
Avatar movies total.
Mhm.
All right, 5. So safe to say that this one may be a slow one. Like maybe we're building up to something bigger, and then by 3 we get like, oh, I think I know what's going on here. By 4 it's like, oh, super high end, and 5 is the resolution. Like it's almost like 5 acts of one story. Whereas in other words, I'm saying 2 might not be the most exciting thing ever. It could be just let's reintroduce you to everything and show you some of the initial conflict.
Right.
I don't know.
About that. I mean, if that's the case, that kind of scares me because it's been over 2009. So we're talking 23 years since the 13 years since the first one,
Original.
And a lot of people aren't really crazy about seeing this because now the hype is long gone.
Yeah.
I mean, not for me. I'm excited for it because
I like
I remember going to the theater. I saw this movie like 6 or 7 times in the theater
Yeah.
because that's how awesome the experience was. It was
It was the
revolutionary.
experience, yeah.
I mean, it reopened 3D movies and no other movie has been ever duplicated. None of them. They've
Nope.
come close, but none of it's done what Avatar did. Avatar was specifically made for the 3D
For
experience.
3D. I mean,
Um,
for I don't know 5 years or more. 3D TVs were what you would buy if you went to Best Buy. Like that's what they
Yeah.
had. It was like before
you still
4K kind of blew
you
up.
still have one, right?
I
You still have
still
one.
do, and I am hanging on to them with dear life because I know one day they'll die. But if they don't make it anymore, they don't make them. And I
Yeah.
still buy to this day foreign Blu-rays because I can get them in 3D, and they don't do that anymore in the States. You're gonna get 4K, and that's the end of it.
Yeah.
Although I
But
wonder if it's a hit, will 3D TVs come back? You know,
Mhm.
interesting
I
question.
don't know. But look, it looks great. I think it looks great. It looks beautiful.
Yeah,
I just wish I knew more of the story. That's all. I mean, by now I thought we'd get a better trailer that would show more of the story.
They don't want to
So
ruin
check this
too
out.
much, I don't know, but
Yeah.
sorry, go
So
on.
remember
Mhm.
this. I remember in 2009 watching the trailer, and I remember it was like almost secret underground whispers you'd hear of this James Cameron epic thing he's making. For years he was working on this. And you'd start to like, what is it? It's actually, I hear rumor, whatever James Cameron's been brewing is going to come out. And when they're building up back then, I watched IGN religiously. And it's like, oh, on the fix, we're gonna have finally some James Cameron stuff. And when they finally showed it, I thought almost the same thing I just thought right there, which is like, okay, I guess it's like neat looking CG, but I don't. This trailer does not look like it's gonna blow me away. And everyone felt the same. We're like, yeah, it just doesn't. I don't know what to say. It kind of looks like a weird blue cat. And what am I supposed to get out of this? And then you go see it though, and it was like, whoa, okay. It's all about like riding the roller coaster. You could talk about the roller coaster all you want and all the loops it's going to do. It's like until you ride it yourself, you're like, okay, I get it. That felt amazing. So hopefully we get that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
Next month. Yep.
Man, already.
That's
It's November or
quick.
December.
December.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
November now.
We're
Yeah.
November now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, we're all excited about Avatar, but I think it's time to talk about our main topic of the night, Tales of the Jedi by the great Dave Filoni. I loved this short series. I don't want to say all my opinions, but let's start with Buck. Go ahead.
I thought they were great. They were short, but I thought, I mean, I think all 6 of them took about an hour to get through.
Correct. Mm-hmm.
And I thought it was great. I love Dooku's arc. I love learning more about him and his fall to darkness. Ahsoka's storylines are great too.
Mm-hmm.
And it would, you know what it is? I was explaining to my brother earlier. It brings me back such a feel of nostalgic, like, this is Star Wars. You know what I mean? It's like,
Hell yeah.
Yes.
damn, this
Nailed
is
it.
Star Wars.
Because Filoni
And-
nails it.
And
He nails
Filoni
it.
he just knows here's the thing, and we've talked about this, gone back and forth. I know not everyone agrees, but after seeing this, I think I've crossed over to the point where honestly I think he needs to be appointed the job of head of
Star
Lucas.
Wars. Yeah, Lucas.
Star Wars.
Mhm.
I know people are afraid that if he does that, then he's not going to do his own thing. I still think he will either way. But if he is in charge, doesn't matter who directs, he's always going to have
A
a
say.
say in everything. He's going to lead it. He's going to be like, okay,
Mhm.
no, I like what you're doing here. I like your directorial flair, what you want, but this is how it needs to go. You do this, not that,
100%.
this, and it'd be great. You know what I mean? I have total faith that he could do the job. I don't think it'll ever happen, but I think he can do the job. So that's my take on it. I mean, if I had to pick a negative side to Tales of the Jedi, I honestly, it's probably the first episode. I thought it was cute, but if you take that episode away, I wouldn't miss it. It's like, I don't.
Right.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I mean,
But
that's
besides
fair.
that,
Yeah.
it was great. I mean, it was really good.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Okay.
Cool.
Rhett, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, man. I actually, this is probably the one you'll talk the most on. I know you dig the Filoni stuff more than anybody. I mean, we all do, but I think you've always backed Clone Wars from day one.
Yeah.
Which is funny. I remember showing you when you were real little the first teaser for the Clone Wars movie.
Yes.
Back in, I think it was your dad's house, ancient times.
Oof, yeah, this is a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, Yeah, it started out actually as soon as I saw the first one, I was like, "This is great," and I think you texted me, Buck, and you're like, "Ha, the first was the weakest. Just wait, the rest of this thing is on fire."
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like, "Ah,
sure,
we'll
yeah.
see." I remember even giving you a little like jab in the gut. I was like, "Yeah, well, it's probably because this one's all about character, and you like story stuff."
Yeah.
And you were like, "Yeah, that's exactly right."
It wasn't bad. It's just compared to the rest of them, it's like, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So Filoni just does that thing. He gives you stuff that you're like, I never knew how they resolved this thing, and he comes back and is like, "Oh, you mean how Camino is erased from the archive memory?"
Right.
As the young
I love
Padawan
that.
said.
Yeah.
Doesn't
Thank
exist.
you. Yeah, does it exist? Oh, I hate that. She like
Doesn't exist.
It's not in the Jedi archives. It doesn't
Doesn't
exist.
exist.
they're really trying to make Jocasta cool these days.
I know.
Yes, yes.
There was a comic like a few years ago, a comic about her, and I read
Mhm.
it. I had it on Disney, Marvel Unlimited, whatever. And she was like a badass old lady
Mhm.
librarian,
Yeah.
fighting Vader,
Fight
and
Vader,
holding her
right?
own. I was like,
Yeah. I remember that.
Really? Oh
Yeah,
my
she
god.
fought
I didn't know-
Vader. Mhm.
Vader kills her. For spoiler alert, Vader kills her, which
Yeah.
is like,
God.
but it was like, man.
I know she
Anyway.
recently she passed away a couple of years ago. That's probably why they're trying to.
Oh,
get
the
her.
actress?
I don't know. Yeah. So.
Oh, well, the character herself, like, yeah.
So, even back in 2002, episode 1 as the only one I walked out of like really loving, but I still had this like, man, that Jar Jar character was really corny. And in years to come, I realized, the little actor Jake Lloyd at the time, is like, it's kind of, also cringy, some of the stuff that happens.
Yeah.
But everything else I love so damn much. The pod race, the Darth Maul, like just everything. Young Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
I was initially disappointed, like for about 20 minutes walking away from Attack of the Clones, because I was like, God, I felt similar to Last Jedi. I was like, we didn't get anywhere. Like, what the hell was that? Like, nothing happened.
Yeah.
I later on decided, well, the Clone Wars started. Anakin got married. He's on his way. You can start to see he's on his way. But for me, I was always like, Vader should have become Vader in episode 2, and then we'd have a whole movie of Vader. Back then, you didn't know there were going to be shows and everything one day.
Yeah.
So I remember leaving the Clone Wars going, he made so many weird questions, didn't answer anything, and he gave us more questions, and I would use excuses like, what was this Sifo Dyas and 10 years ago? And
that always bothered
me
too. That Cypher
it was
thing
like, what the hell is
the hell
this?
is that? Yeah.
Which they actually answer that in a Clone Wars episode.
Yes.
Quite a few years ago. And I was at that point, I was like, man, that was great. I actually understand that now. And
I think it was
he decided
during the Yoda trials or something like that in the season 6 or something. I don't remember. But like they answered it when like he encountered like a vision of Sifo Dyas himself.
Yep. Yeah.
And I was like,
and then they
that's awesome.
Visited him. I think they went to wherever Sifo Dyas was like still held prisoner somewhere. Like rotting up against the chains or something.
No, that was a vision. That wasn't actually him.
Vision? Okay.
Yeah.
I don't recall. Anyway, that's Filoni, though. He'll be like, no one else really thinks about this much, but I'm going to find a way to make tie-in stuff and complete, fill the gaps and tie everything together in a nice, neat bow.
Yes.
And make it awesome. And he did that. He answered the big mystery of Yaddle.
Yes. Some Yaddle action.
Oh,
well, I mean, I don't know if it was a big mystery. I'm not sure if there's a Yaddle.
Where'd she go after episode 1?
Yaddle, but
there was.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm sure there was. It never bothered me, and it was never a mystery that
it didn't bother me. It's just like what happened.
Not sleep at night. I'm just saying.
I wanted to know how did she die? She didn't die from 66. We never saw her after episode 1. So I was like, where'd she die?
I will say this. I was kind of taken back a little bit by the way she sounded.
Yeah,
because I thought for some no, it was fine. It was fine. I got over it. I just thought for some reason like she would talk like Yoda because I thought that's how all the species would always talk backwards like that. Back
I didn't even cross the line.
But honestly, maybe I'm like, nah, not digging too deep into it. Maybe they'll talk differently. It's fine.
Maybe Yoda's just a little slow. I don't know. I don't
know. No, it's not.
What would mess that up?
Is
if Grogu, if we get to see Grogu a little older and he speaks the way Yoda speaks, and you're like, okay, well then how did Yaddle figure out how to speak correctly? Front to back.
Oh, because she's a woman. That's why.
Oh,
she's
yeah.
smarter than guys. That's
yeah.
Well,
it is a division of Disney. So
yeah.
Although that makes me,
I'm canceled.
You're canceled.
Well,
we just lost like 5 subscribers. Thanks.
Well,
yeah. Well, the fact that Twitter is now owned by Elon Musk, you're probably okay.
Yeah, that's
True.
true. That's true. That's true.
Canceling is over.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
Um,
$20 for your blue check mark. All right.
So Buck, what was your favorite episode out of the 6?
My favorite episode was the. What was the? Okay, it wasn't the Adult episode. It was actually the one with Mace Windu and Count Dooku.
Oh,
Because
that's a good
it kind of showed his
choices.
turn, his choices. That's it. Choices. Yeah. And I honestly felt a little bad for him, honestly, in that episode. Believe it or not, I felt that he was done dirty. I'm like, man, really? That's kind of messed up. It kind of reminded me of Anakin, sort of, you know. So I was like, yeah, I kind of felt for him a little bit there, you know. So
Except it was the opposite. It's like you do have the rank of master, but we're not granting you a seat on this council.
Yeah.
So the exact opposite of Anakin, what he got. He's like, you get a seat on the council, but you were not a master.
I just love the look he gives Mace, much like the way Anakin gives the same look to Mace, where Mace goes, I'll talk to the council in your regards, and then Dooku's like, how very kind of you, like this face, like fuck you. It was great. But no, honestly, and you know what's funny? I never thought I'd be interested in seeing it, but if they did a Dooku and Qui-Gon kind of like series, I'm like, I would watch it. I'm like, yeah, I want to see what these guys got into.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, that's what I'm talking about, man. Filoni knows what the hell he's doing.
Yes, and it was very interesting to see that he was around when Qui-Gon died. Like he was still at the Jedi Temple. I mean, you saw the outcome. He was still a Jedi.
He was mad. He was like, damn, man, like Qui-Gon.
He even got pissed at Palpatine, like saying that I lost my Padawan. You've gone too far. Like this isn't what he wanted. And then
it's like, you lost an apprentice, I lost one too.
Yeah.
But that was deep. Like that part where it's that cool. I can't think of any. Maybe it was season 7 of Clone Wars actually, where it's like you're seeing what's going on over here. You saw this. You're used to seeing this part, but then they're showing you over here. That was that neat part. I guess it was Jocasta Nu, like, your apprentice has come across the Sith Lord. Everyone's talking about it. It was kind of like, ooh. It's like in Harry Potter when someone's, the what do they call him? The boy who lived, and everyone's excited. Like, it's almost like the prophecy's getting fulfilled. Oh my God, this is an exciting time. And then when you hear he died, and you're like, God, that is good. And in the tree, like, having him grown up in Coruscant, I always brought him here. He's always fascinated with this tree. I was like, man, this is deep. I want to see, like you said, I want to see more of this stuff.
Yeah.
At least animation gives you an opportunity to explore that. I think,
right. But why can't they do that with live action? We talked about this last week. Why can't they do it?
They don't have the freedom. That's why with animation.
Why?
Because all you need from people in animation are voices, and then you have the artist to tell the story freely. When it comes to actors, it's not the same. It's not. You're not going to get the same amount of action. You're not going to get the same amount of visuals.
I think you can, but I know what you're saying. There's something special with animation. It's free reign. What they did would have been hard to do in live action, but I think it can be done. And Obi-Wan Kenobi is an example of why the hell couldn't they have at least performed a little better? Because Obi-Wan Kenobi should have been a knock out of the park. All right.
Yeah.
Knocked it out of the park. So I'm trying to say, but we get so much more story out of that. Obi-Wan Kenobi was lacking the story. They just hired the right people.
Mm-hmm.
That was in front of the camera. Yeah. They give you the actors. They give you no story.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, go ahead. Go ahead. Finish.
It's because they didn't have anyone who watched the prequels or paid attention to things like, you say Sifo Dyas or Camino getting deleted. Every one of the writers on Obi-Wan would be like, no one knows about that. That's an intricate detail that nobody cares about. And then look at it. The fans who actually been for 20 years pondering, how the hell did that planet get to, like, how did all this happen? And they show that, and we're the ones that are going absolutely crazy about how great this story was. And it's not just for that, but it's like the nod to the Clone Wars. How many times did you say, I want to see more Clone Wars memories?
Yeah.
Not a freaking training.
Well, that's the format that they should have used from Tales of Jedi. They could have implemented that in the Obi-Wan show.
Absolutely.
It just doesn't make sense because this is what I don't like, is the fact that since they don't put that close attention to detail to live action, I almost feel like they purposely ignore what happened in the Clone Wars or Rebels because they're afraid to alienate the fans that haven't seen it, which is stupid because I don't think that's a factor. I think if you include that, it's gonna make people want to watch these episodes.
That's
and
what
these
happened with
animation shows.
Mandalorian. Because Mandalorian got people to watch Rebels and Clone Wars because of Ahsoka and all those other characters.
It's funny though. What it did reference in Obi-Wan was Jedi Fallen Order, which was like, what? So you ignore the Clone Wars, yet you want to go and focus on Jedi Fallen Order because you thought the kids played the game? You're like, yeah, the kids will love this reference. Let's put this in there, you know? I don't know. It just
I'm trying to remember the Fallen Order reference. Wait.
Oh yeah, the castle, you know, and in the water, and you know that whole.
But that's just Inquisitor Tower. Oh yeah, it was a mission in the game. Okay, I see.
Yes,
okay,
yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, they focused on that, but they couldn't focus on more Clone Wars flashbacks to kind of show the relationship between Obi-Wan and Anakin. Come on, man. Even Book of Boba Fett have flashback episodes when he was in a back to tank, thinking back on how he got to the point where he's at now. They couldn't do that for Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Come on. It just did. No, I don't want to talk about Obi-Wan again. But yeah, I just think it sucks that 12-minute episodes, animation episodes like Tales of the Jedi could actually do so much more for Star Wars than these shows can sometimes. You know? And I think Andor's great. I really do. I do. Yeah. It's just, you know, when it comes to Star Wars, sometimes, you know, you think these, you know, the Jedis and you know, these characters that you grew up loving. And when they try to tell these stories in live action, it falls apart, man. It just isn't the same.
Yeah.
It just sucks, you know? So, yeah.
We got some good Ahsoka. We got good Count Dooku.
Yeah.
Yes.
That Ahsoka episode at the end there was really good, too. That fight, it reminded me so much of Obi-Wan and Darth
Maul and Rebels.
That fight, it was beautiful. I was like, ooh, that was smooth. I love it. Yeah,
yes. So there's a lot of theories about that Inquisitor because they never mention who he is. So there's a theory going around that he is the sixth brother, and it's he's a brother that we've never seen on screen before, but he's also in the books. He's actually an Inquisitor that's been looking for Ahsoka. Even though the description isn't the same as in books and in the show, but that lightsaber is actually the crystals inside that lightsaber are the crystals that she's going to use for her white lightsabers. So that's where she gets those. She heals those crystals again, and they become white.
Oh, interesting.
Mm-hmm. So
I read the Ahsoka book back then, and that sounds pretty familiar actually.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the sixth brother was the villain in that book. So okay. I have to read that again.
Yes. But again, it's a possibility. My favorite episode was actually the episode before that one. When we see Ahsoka like doing the trial. So she did the Jedi trial first in the temple, and Anakin kind of got there late because he really didn't give a crap about that trial, and he kind of left upset because he was like, I need my Padawan is not prepared for battle. So we see Anakin reflecting on the fact that the Jedi Temple training sucks and he wants to do his own thing. You know, like he's preparing his Padawan for the worst case scenario. And the way that we see that go on in the show and the way that it ends, like she used that throughout her entire like training with Anakin and all the way to the end. And it's just like, wow, the symbolism was fantastic. It was incredible. I got emotional. It was amazing.
Back to season 7. And you're like, oh yeah, that's amazing.
It actually made me want to see that episode again in season 7 because it led up to that so well. I was like, oh wow.
I went through. I watched. I think I told you guys about a year and a half ago. I watched what were like the essential episodes. I found a list and I improved upon it myself. And I did all that, and then I watched all of season 7 again. And yeah, that's the end of that, especially the last 4 episodes.
Oh, some best Star Wars.
Best Star Wars.
I know, so
like,
good.
That and Tales of the Jedi are some of the best Star Wars,
absolutely,
especially the last few years.
Anything Filoni touches. I'm sorry.
Anything Filoni touches, and Andor's an interesting one because I have not seen tonight's episode.
I haven't either. Yeah,
episode 9. Actually, Buck, you haven't seen the last 2?
Haven't seen the last 2.
It's probably good. Actually,
tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah, well, that means you watch the third one tonight. So that'll be 3. You get, or 2. I'm sorry.
No, 2.
Oh, just 2. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
I think the last 2 after the heist were kind of slower, and maybe it's just like a reset for like the next thing happen up, but there's a lot of tension building up, especially with Mon Mothma's story.
Mhm.
But Andor is actually. Oh, I don't want to go there, but it's interesting. It's scary. Like I know, Marco, you've seen it. It's that feeling of like I want to give anything away. So like being trapped and forever like scared like that actually hit me like maybe not a Star Wars, but it was like, oh, this is disturbing. Like
Yes.
if this were to happen to me, it's freaking scary.
Yeah, I don't want to give anything away either, but yeah, it's the way they're portraying it is very
It brings me
suspenseful and like I don't know how to say it. It's a very different
good.
feel for a Star Wars show, which I'm enjoying.
And I love that. I do. I love that because I think it's from the crap we've been getting. It's
good.
refreshing. It's really good.
Refreshing.
Yes.
It's,
you know what?
Go ahead. No.
No. You go ahead.
You both are so
it
polite.
does remind me, it's a lot like a novel. Like a Star Wars novel doesn't always feel like Star Wars, but I'm like, but I liked it.
Yeah.
It reads kind of like I think you said it once. What's the book that preluded Rogue One? Catalyst.
Catalyst.
It feels something like that. Very a lot of detail. You're like, wow, I didn't think of Star Wars as having this sort of detail, but it gives you everything that's not a major event. It's like this is a day to day, what a guy in Star Wars Galaxy does. And including even the thing that I was commending it for a minute ago, like the feeling of trap that happens in, I guess was episode 8. It almost, I like it, but not because it's Star Wars. I like it because I feel like this is an interesting story and it's good filmmaking, but it doesn't like give me that Star Wars feeling like I got out of Tales of the Jedi, just like both of you said a moment ago.
Yeah.
Whereas Tales of the Jedi was like, I'm here, this is Star Wars. And I thought that for the first 3 episodes of Andor, I was like, it's cool, it's kind of sci-fi, it's kind of Blade Runner, but it doesn't feel like fantasy, which is a little more what Star Wars is. It's good sci-fi. It may not be the best fantasy, though, Think about it like that. Star Wars is really just a fantasy with a space paint job. It's not necessarily science fiction.
Yeah.
It's about magic.
Yeah.
So.
What scares me is that I actually like Endor a lot. You're right, though. Yeah, it doesn't have your usual Star Wars kind of feeling, but I do like it, and I like the direction it's going. But I am concerned because the ratings have not been great, because I heard a lot of people aren't watching the show. It's declining, and that's not good.
No.
Hopefully this season 2 is greenlit.
Well, season 2 is greenlit, yeah, so I think they're going to go regardless. But, well, I just feel like this is a grown-up show. This is a different kind of show.
Yeah.
It's not aimed for everybody. But I do find it disappointing because this is not doing great as far as ratings, but...
Right. There's a lot of subcategories when it comes to Star Wars fans, unfortunately. So if you have like these newer age fans who just like the new stuff that comes out, they're probably not going to understand the feeling of like Andor and stuff like that. If you have people who
there's
just
no Jedis, there's
exactly,
no Force. It's just
if you have fans that just like the animated stuff or just Filoni, like if you're just a pure Filoni fan, you're probably not gonna like Andor because it doesn't feel like anything Filoni's made. So it's just unfortunately you're gonna have those fans. Like we are a particular group of fans as well. We like Star Wars that connects to the story, that has a good story, that connects everything very smoothly and well, and has everything with a nice bow. That's why none of us really like the sequels, because it doesn't make any fucking sense. Sorry, but yeah. So we're gonna get different fan bases of Star Wars saying their opinions about every particular show. Not everyone's gonna be happy with every show that Disney releases with Star Wars. That's just a given fact. So the fact that Endor is getting the lower ratings that it's getting is kind of like a refresh of why Solo got the low ratings as well. Because again, people weren't watching it, people didn't like it, but us as fans, we liked it.
I just find it kind of sad that this show is getting high ratings, as far as reviews. I think it's great, and no one's watching it. But apparently She-Hulk, everybody watched, even though they hated it, they watched it.
That's just why they watched it, because Kevin Feige owns Marvel, and he's a good leader of Marvel.
It's funny. I've been hearing Kevin Feige's not really happy with the direction She-Hulk.
No, he's not. And recently, we hear rumors of the newer projects that are coming on Marvel. He's been like cursing and screaming at these meetings and saying this shit sucks. Do it again.
Well, rumor has it Kevin is a robot.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Kevin.
Anyway,
Inside joke. She-Hulk
Anyway,
fan.
well, speaking of Marvel, Black Panther comes out soon. And
Yeah.
me and Buck are actually watching it early. We're watching it this
we're
Friday.
gonna see.
A whole week
Yes.
early because it's my birthday.
Heyo. Oh yeah, in like 2 days. Yeah,
Yep.
Friday.
On Friday.
Cool.
Yeah.
Happy birthday early.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thanks to
It's gonna
my
be 31.
31. He's like,
Look at
what?
Red. He believes it too. Like, really? 31?
Like, no, you're like 26.
Oh, there you go. Good job.
Yeah, I was like, that sounds way off.
Nah, 27. 27, right?
No, it's 26.
Really? It's 26?
I'm turning 26.
You don't even know.
Gosh.
I know, horrible.
The youth.
Yeah, I think Buck's like 50 or something. I don't know.
Look at that beard.
Mhm.
It's like Count.
Yeah.
It looks like Count Dooku's beard from the Clone Wars.
Be careful now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Well, I think that wraps up
I think
tonight's
it wraps
podcast.
it up, right, guys? I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you everyone for watching. Next week we're probably going to talk a little smidge about our thoughts of Black Panther. No spoilers, obviously, because no one's going to watch it at the same time we are. Obviously, there's people that have already watched it. The premiere was like October 25th or something like that. But again, we're watching it early. We're not going to spoil anything for Rhett, obviously, because we care about him so much. And we're not going to spoil
I
it for
don't
you
care.
guys.
I'm going to spoil it for you because they've actually spoiled stuff on TikTok. What Black Panther is.
Oh,
It's actually shocking. It's Ezra Miller.
Oh,
I know.
what the?
It's crazy. It's crazy. The TikTok.
Flash.
TikTok ruins everything. So, I don't know.
I thought it was Henry Cavill. He's getting so many roles. So,
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for watching the Worst Fans podcast. And we'll see you guys next time. Adios.